Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Little Snow. Her skin was as pale as freshly fallen snow, her hair as black as midnight, and her lips as red as the ripest cherry. She lived with her wicked stepmother, Queen Frost, who was envious of Little Snow's beauty and pure heart. Queen Frost owned a magic mirror that always told her the truth. One day she asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" To her dismay, the mirror replied, "Little Snow is the fairest, dear queen. Her kindness and beauty outshine all." Consumed with jealousy, Queen Frost plotted to rid herself of Little Snow. She ordered her huntsman to take Little Snow deep into the woods and ensure she never returned. However, the huntsman could not bring himself to harm the kind girl. He let her go, warning her to hide from the queen's wrath. Frightened and alone, Little Snow wandered deeper into the forest until she stumbled upon a cozy little cottage. Inside, everything was miniature, from the furniture to the dishes. Exhausted, she lay down on a small bed and drifted off to sleep. When she awoke, she found herself surrounded by 7 curious little ducklings. They were fluffy, with feathers of varying shades, some bright yellow, others brown, and one with a distinct little green spot on its beak. "Who are you?" asked Little Snow, rubbing her eyes. "We are the 7 ducklings," quacked the one with the green spot, who seemed to be their leader. "We live here in the forest and keep each other company. You can stay with us, but beware of the wicked queen." Little Snow thanked the ducklings for their kindness and promised to help them with their chores in return. Every day they would waddle off to the forest pond, and Little Snow would stay behind to cook, clean, and keep the cottage tidy. She grew fond of the ducklings and they of her. Meanwhile, Queen Frost soon discovered that Little Snow was still alive. Furious, she disguised herself as an old woman and set off into the woods with a plan to deceive her. One day, while the ducklings were out, Queen Frost knocked on the door of the cottage, pretending to be a poor peddler woman selling ribbons. She offered Little Snow a beautiful, enchanted ribbon, and the moment Little Snow tied it around her waist, it began to tighten. She collapsed, unable to breathe. When the ducklings returned, they found Little Snow unconscious. They quickly untied the ribbon, and she gasped for air, her life restored. Little Snow realized the danger she was in, but the wicked queen would not give up so easily. A few days later, Queen Frost returned in another disguise, this time with a poison comb. Again, Little Snow was tricked, and the comb sent her into a deep, dangerous sleep. But the clever ducklings removed the comb from her hair, saving her once more. Determined to succeed, Queen Frost came one last time, disguised as a kind old woman, offering a shiny red apple. This time, Little Snow hesitated, but the queen's gentle words and kind appearance made her believe it was safe. With one bite of the poisoned apple, Little Snow fell into a death-like sleep, and this time the ducklings could not wake her. The ducklings, heartbroken, built a soft bed of flowers for Little Snow and kept watch over her day and night, refusing to leave her side. One day, as they waddled around her in grief, a passing prince from a nearby kingdom saw Little Snow lying there, looking as peaceful as a sleeping angel. Moved by her beauty and the devotion of the ducklings, the prince leaned down to kiss her. To everyone's surprise, Little Snow awoke, the spell of the poisoned apple broken by the prince's kiss. She smiled at the ducklings and the prince, grateful to be alive once more. The prince, enchanted by her kindness and bravery, asked Little Snow to return with him to his castle. She agreed, but not before thanking the 7 ducklings for their love and care. And so, Little Snow and the prince lived happily ever after, while the 7 ducklings remained her lifelong friends, visiting her often in the kingdom, quacking happily around the palace pond. As for Queen Frost, she was never heard from again, for her heart froze entirely from the bitterness of her own jealousy, and they all lived happily ever after.